Hello everyone and welcome to grade 9 lessons. Today we are going to deal with coursebook page 71 and workbook page 60. Look at this abbreviation WFO. What do we mean by WFO? Scan the text for 15 seconds and what does this abbreviation stand for? That means, what does this abbreviation means, or what does it refer to? You have 15 seconds to scan the text and tell me what does it mean or what does it refer to. That means, what are the letters of this abbreviation refer to? Exactly. So WFO means World Food Program. It is here in the third paragraph. World Food Program. Good job. In exercise number 4, we have reading task. Read the extract opposite from news report, then discuss the following question. But before we read the extract and deal with the question, let's go to the picture. Look at the picture here in your book. Look at the man. Look at people here in this picture. What do you think people are carrying in the sacks? Where are they going and why? From where have they got these supplies? Please discuss this question and write notes in your sticky note. You have 1 minute to do that. Okay. Now, read the extract opposite from news report, then discuss the following question. Before we read anything, we have to know why are we going to read. So, here we are going to read in order to answer the questions. That means we want to discuss the questions below. Let's begin with the question first. Question number 1. What percentage of the poorest people live in the disaster area? Here, as you can see, we need a number, percentage. Why do these people have a poor diet? Now, in this question, we need a reason. What does the WFO do? Tell me here about the activities that WFO, which means World Food Program, does. What does the WFO hope to achieve by working with the governments and communities? What is its goal when they collaborate with governments and communities? What else the WFO doing to help countries affected by natural disasters? The extra activities that WFO do. The last one will be your own answer. So give me your own idea. What do you think should be done to help these people? What do you mean by these people? people who are affected by disasters, people who are in need for us. What do you think? How can you help them? So, now after we have discussed the question, please read the text. You have 3 minutes to read the text and answer the question. Okay, good job. Now, before we answer the question, I want just to explain some new vocabulary in this text. Look at the word here, access. Have no access to fresh water. That means they are not able to get to the fresh water. They are unable to get the water, the fresh water. That means the water that is good for drinking. That means the fresh water. Here we have impact. Now, even greater impact on the people. Impact here means the effect of the natural disaster on people. We call it impact. The next part of this reading task, here we have the word remote. Remote, that means very far, most remote areas. The remote areas means the far areas. Look here, they say, and know what to do when one is forecast, when one is informed by others. Okay, we say when you warn someone, that means this one is forecast. That means he was informed before. You have told him before. He is forecast. That means he know that something dangerous will happen. That were some strange words in this text. Let's move to the questions. The first one, what percentage of the poorest people live in a disaster area? According to the text, yes, great, good job. About 80% of people live in the disaster. This percentage according to the population of the world. So 80% of people live in the disaster area. Next, why do these people have a poor diet? So we say they have no access to fresh water, and also their land is not suitable for farming. That means they are unable to farm their land or grow some plants in order to eat from them. So unable to reach the fresh water, and also unable to farm their land. Question number 3, what does the WFO do? What are the activities? Great, good job. So the activities are, the first one, to reduce the impact of natural disasters on people in the region. So reduce, that means decrease, okay? Make it less. Next, 4, what does the WFO hope to achieve by working with governments and communities? So they hope to make sure, or they want to make sure, that the food and water can get through to all regions affected by the disaster. They want to make the food and water reach everyone who is affected by the disasters. Next, number 5, what else is the WFO doing to help countries affected by natural disaster? The answer is, it is trying to find ways to warn people about disasters so there is less loss of life. So they will do their best in order to warn people, to tell them that there will be a natural disaster so that they will be ready and they will save their lives. The last question, this is according to you. So if you want to share your ideas with your friend, you can do via WhatsApp or any social media. So what do you think should be done to help these people? So here we need your suggestions about helping people who are affected by natural disasters. Tell me your ideas, and I think you have so much ideas. Let's move to the next task. Here, the speaking task. We are going to change the speaking task into writing task. Okay, so please prepare your sticky notes here. In group, discuss the following questions. So you are going to read the questions and give me your ideas. So look at the picture here. So according to this picture, and do you think that you are responsible in order to help poor people? Let's begin with the question number 1. What aid organizations do you have in your region? So tell me some organizations that are existed in your country here in the UAE. And I think we have lots. One of them, I think, the Red Crescent, and this is the most popular one. So what work do they do? So if you know any information about the activities that our organizations here in the UAE do, please write them down. What do they do? Do they help people who are affected by disaster? Do they give money to people? What do they do? Now, number 3, do we have a responsibility to help people in disaster regions in other countries, and why? That means, why should we help others who are affected by disasters? Why should we help them? Here, think of your responsibility as a human, and think of the people, and think of yourself if you are at the same place. If you are affected by a disaster, of course you will need the help of others. And also think of the thing that God told us to do according to our religion. So think of all these things in order to give your ideas. Why should we help others who are affected by disasters? So write your answers on a sticky note. I'll give you here 3 minutes to prepare your answers, and please keep your answers and try to share it with your friend or with your family, or try to keep it in your book in order to maybe be your responsibility, or be your attitude toward the organizations or the aid organization. So please write your own answer on a sticky note. You will be given 3 minutes to do that. Start. Now go directly to workbook. Sorry, here it's written course book. Actually, it's workbook. Workbook page 16, not course book, workbook. So go directly to workbook and to page 60. Now here we are going to write an email. As you know, before we write what we need to write in this email, let's go to the form of the email. Now here in this part, you are going to write the email address of the receiver, and you are going to write your name, the sender. Here, dear, you are going to write the name of the organization or the country or anyone who will receive your email. And here, look, you will write best wishes and your name again. So here, this is the email. What is the email going to be about? Look, imagine you are a victim of a natural disaster. That means imagine that you are hit by a natural disaster, or you are one of the people who are affected by a natural disaster. Write an email to the government of another country. So of course, when a country has a natural disaster, they need the help of other countries. So you are the person who will ask the other country in order to help you what to do. So include the following. That means we need, or you need to mention that or these ideas in your email. What are they? Look here, where you are based. You have to tell them about your place. So where do you live? That means where you are based. Next, what the disaster is. What kind of disaster you are hit by? Was it a drought, earthquake, tsunami, or wildfire? What kind of disaster you are hit by? So here, what you can see and hear around you. Describe the setting around you. Can you hear, for example, the sounds of children that are crying, or do you see the big fire, or a large crashed houses, or what can you see around you? You have to mention in order to tell about the situations to the other country. In order to help you, you have to describe what you can see in order to tell them what do you need. If when you tell about the situation, they know what do you need according to your description. So it's very important to describe what you can see or what is happening around you. What supplies you need? Tell them what do you need. Do you need, for example, fresh water? Do you need bread, rice? Do you need batteries, torch, clothes, tents? What kind of supplies do you need? How the government might get the supplies to you. That means tell them about the way that can transport the things to you. Could they transport it by plane, or by car, or by boat, or on foot? So how could they transport the supplies to you? What problems they might have on the way. You have to tell them about the challenges that they may face in order to be ready for that. Is the road is the region that you are in very far, or is it hard to reach using a vehicle? So you have to tell them about the problems around you in order to get ready and reach or give you the supplies safely. So that's what you need to mention in your email. So here I'll give you this email as a homework. You are going to do that alone after you finish watching this video. And also I hope you share this email with your friends, with your classmates. So send this email to your classmate, and also try to ask them to send you this email. Next, here also the same mistake. It is workbook, page 60, not coursebook. It's workbook. Now exercise number 4, create an information sheet explaining the work of an international aid organization. Use the model, include the following information. Look here, you have the information given on the right. International aid, what we do, support, and support. Here's the kind of support that they could give you, and what you can do, the activities that you can do or you have to do in order to help the international aid. Now the main ideas that you have to mention in your sheet, what the aid organization does. That means you have to mention the activities, then what type of support it gives. Okay, for example, as I mentioned earlier, maybe food, clothes, tents, totes. Those are the supports. What type of support it gives, and what people can do to help or aid organization, and this is referred to you and your family and all the community. So what should you do to help the aid organization? As you know that aid organization depend on companies, on government, on also people. So you as a human, you as a part of the community, what can you do to help the aid organization? So these are the main ideas you are going to mention. Then you are going to use the models. What are the models? For example, here, can, could, may, might, should, must, and have. Can and could for ability, may and might for possibility, should we use it for advice, must and have for rules or something obligatory. So you have to use these models in order to write information. I'll give you an example. Here, look, around 1 person in 3 lives in poverty. This organization works to help poor people to get out of poverty. So here we have information: help poor people to get out of poverty. You can say here what the aid organization does. You can write this sentence. So aid organization could help poor people to get out of poverty. So you write one sentence using model. You can say also it may help to save people's lives. Now, according to, for example, should, you can say you should raise money for charity. You have to hold a school charity event. So use these models and use the information here to write ideas about the specific information here on the left. I hope that you understand this task, and by this task we reach to the end of this lesson. Goodbye.